Hi, my name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. Today's Thursday, November the 30th, and I am going to speak a few moments on the upcoming meeting with Attorney General Ken Paxton. The meeting will be taking place December the 6th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and this is primarily for people who are affected by the issue of child support and the collection practices that the Attorney General's office uses. The issue that many people have is that the child support collection in Texas, the practices tend to border on abusive and exploitive. So, for example, I've mentioned many times my friend Michael Dry, who was going to get his driver's license renewed. He evidently had missed a few payments transitioning jobs, and he was arrested while he was trying to renew a driver's license in front of his wife, in front of his children. I can give you story upon story in which this has happened both to men and to women. In fact, the interesting thing is that the Attorney General's office tends to think, from my understanding of the correspondence with them, that this is a men's issue. In fact, there is one man for the Texas Family Law Foundation, or as I call them, the Texas Anti-Family Law Foundation, because most of their policies are destructive of families, not helping families. And in fact, the Texas Anti-Family Law Foundation actually prides themselves on being a lobbyist for the family law attorneys, not lobbying for the benefit of families, but for the attorneys that they represent. They would like to portray this as a men's rights activist, the MRA, the men's rights activists. This is an issue that the men's rights activists are pushing, and we need to defend women. Well, the interesting thing that I think the Attorney General will find out is that, at least from the people that have contacted me, I believe the majority of them have been mothers. So, and I'm looking forward. Many of these mothers are going to be coming down to Austin next Wednesday to speak about the abusive practice of child support collection. I wish we really could get media in there, because if the media were inside the room, the story would explode throughout Texas, I am sure, because of the nature of the practices and the things that have gone on. So some of the questions people have asked me primarily deal with, is there going to be a safe harbor provision? Unfortunately, the answer to that is no. The Attorney General's office did say that nobody from child support enforcement would be there to check on people, and that they were not putting this forward as a sting operation or a roundup operation. However, the DPS, they have no control over, and if there is a warrant out for your arrest, they may arrest you on the spot. And that is unfortunate, because you are the people that he needs to hear from the most, and you are the people whose voices are going to be silenced. And this is whether you are a man or a woman, a father or a mother. It happens to both genders, and it happens to both parents. The next issue is the RSVP. You must RSVP with Andrew Leone at the Attorney General's office. People have been sending in RSVPs, but I've had a lot of people that have said, I've not received confirmation from the Attorney General's office. So I actually emailed Andrew Leone this today, and he said that he's trying to, that he has responded to many people who wanted to be there, but he's out of town right now. He's got an assistant that will be responding to the emails tomorrow, which is Friday. So perhaps tomorrow you will be getting the confirmation of your RSVP. If not, my suggestion is that you send another RSVP and that you print it off. And when you send in the RSVP, just say, this is the second time I've tried to RSVP. I want to make sure I'm on the list to attend the meeting. Print it off and take it with you when you go down to Austin. And my thinking behind this is that if you RSVP to a wedding or something, people don't necessarily write back and say, okay, we've got your RSVP. They just know to expect you there. So RSVP, let them know that you're going to be there, print off your email, and when you go to the Capitol building, show them the email that you've RSVP'd, that you sent 2 responses to RSVP. That's the best that I can tell you to do right now. Another question people have asked is, what is the format going to be? So I asked, again, what is the format going to be? I don't know. There's some formats I would like to see, but I'm not in charge of this. The Attorney General's office is actually putting this on, and he is gracious enough to listen to us. So there are some things we're going to have to respect, but I don't know what the format's going to be. The first time I went down to testify before a committee in Austin, I had no idea what to do. It was a committee that was looking into the abusive practices of Children's Protective Services. Let me speak for about 30 minutes. Well, that was probably 25 more minutes than I should have spoken, but I didn't know. So my suggestion is this: when you go down there, plan to have a testimony ready to speak that you could give in 3 minutes, 5 minutes maximum, but preferably 3 minutes if possible, and deal with 1 or 2 issues, a couple of issues that are concrete that you think are wrong about the child support collection. A second thing I would do is have a piece of paper, 2 maximum, 1 is better, perhaps giving the Attorney General and the people around him something that they can consider, something to take with them, so that they can look at the issues that you're addressing. Other than that, I really don't know what to tell you. One thing I would recommend is don't go in there with anger. There are a lot of things that you've experienced that could make you angry, that maybe we could say justifiably do make you angry. You're going to have to lay the anger aside. You need to deal with the issues. The fact that the Attorney General is willing to meet with you, look at that as an opportunity, not as an opportunity to bash him, perhaps as an opportunity, though, to expose the practices and the damaging practices and how these practices are destroying your family, your relationship with your children, and your relationship with your new family. It does not make a difference in my mind to be #1 in child support collection in the United States if we are destroying families in the interim. And by the way, Texas is #1 in child support collection. This is something the Attorney General has said in many of his meetings. For 9 years straight, Texas has led the nation in child support collection. Out of 4,200 people on staff, the Attorney General has 2,600 devoted to child support collection. 62% of his staff is devoted to child support collection. This is something that he takes seriously. He thinks that it's good public policy. I think you need to be able to convince him that the way that child support collection is practiced in Texas is not good public policy. In fact, it's destructive public policy, and it's destroying families. Second thing is that after the meeting is done, we're looking into possibly having a rally in front of the Capitol building. I will be down there with a video camera, and I'll be glad to take anybody who wants to speak, give a 3-minute testimony, and we post them on YouTube, because this is an issue that we need to make public to the entire state of Texas. Third question is, how many people will actually be there from the Attorney General's office? Again, there's really no response on that. I don't know if it's going to be only the Attorney General. I don't know if he's going to have a couple of people with him. I have no idea if he's going to have a couple of members from the House or the Senate there with him. I have no clue. Unfortunately, I wish I knew more, but I don't. Don't get your expectations up. Do not expect the Attorney General or his office to apologize for anything. In fact, I was watching a show the other day, and they're talking about, I'm sorry are some of the most expensive words in the English language when it comes down to issues like what we're talking about. You can make people believe that you think you're sorry. You can let them feel that you're sorry, and in fact, you should feel from them that they do have sorry, but do not expect an apology, because an apology will say, we were wrong. And in many instances, the state or a private organization is afraid to say, I'm sorry, because it will set them up for a lawsuit. So do not expect them to say, I'm sorry. We hope at best that they will at least acknowledge inwardly, even though they will not say it. My guess is they will not say anything outwardly or vocally, but they will lead to a lot of discussion to say, we're really messing up with this, and we are inadvertently destroying families. Good public policy? No. Bad public policy, bad policy for the families. Dress. I know there's a lot of people that are in different organizations that have t-shirts. My suggestion is try to dress somewhat professionally. Don't go in there wearing your t-shirts. Yes, it might be a show of strength if everybody had one type of t-shirt, but that's not really the impression you're trying to leave. You want to leave the impression that you are a person that they can listen to. If they can peg you as being the lunatic fringe or something like that, it could easily happen. That's not the impression you want to give. You want to address them respectfully, professionally, and you want to dress the exact same way. Dress respectfully. Don't go in there in t-shirts. Don't go in there muscle shirts, or if you're, whatever. Just dress professionally. I think we need to look at this as an opportunity, not as an opportunity to just bash. The Attorney General is under no obligation to meet with us. He has committed to meet with us. If there is a problem, he wants to hear about it and he wants to fix it. I've supported the Attorney General in every race that he's run. This may seem hard. Why am I taking such a strong position against the Attorney General? I'm not taking a position against the Attorney General. I'm taking a position on the position, and I'm hoping that we can have that relationship with him, that we can win him to see just how bad these practices are. If you are destroying families, no matter how much money you collect for the state of Texas, or for people that are looking at child support, it's not good public policy. You're destroying lives of mothers, of fathers, and of children. You need to look at this as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for a full and frank discussion, and it's an opportunity to make things better for the future. There are some things we will never recapture from the past. I'm looking at things through the eyes of a father and grandfather. I do not want to see these things happen to my children or my grandchildren. And in many instances, you're living them right now. I don't know what to tell you. I empathize with you. I can say I am sorry for the things that have happened. The Attorney General in his office probably cannot. You know your story, and you just need to tell it given that opportunity. That's the only thing I have as an update for right now. I wish I could give you more, but that's what I have. Looking forward to seeing you down there on Wednesday. I've talked with some people. There are some great people that are going to be there. I think the Attorney General and his whole staff, his whole child support enforcement collection staff, are going to be shocked and appalled if they realize how much damage they're really doing. They're not going to probably realize that in this one visit, but perhaps it will open up doors that there will be change in the future. Thank you very much.